Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I want to have a look at the Capricorn new moon, which is coming up on December the 23rd. So I've got some December dates for you. So the party is happening in Capricorn, obviously. And so here are some dates. 6th of December, Mercury entered Capricorn. On the 10th of this month, Venus followed. 21st, the Sun enters Capricorn. So happy birthday, Capricorns. That's going to take us into the winter solstice. By Christmas Day, Capricorn will have invited to the party the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. 29th of December, Mercury stations direct in Capricorn before going retrograde on the 30th until January the 18th. So we've got a Mercury retrograde happening at the end of this month in Capricorn, which is going to slow the conversation down. And a few cards have come out and I'm getting a bigger picture now. 20th of December, yes, tomorrow, Jupiter moves into Aries. And I wanted to mention this today because it's just making me happy. It's like Jupiter's solar return in the first house of self. So that's going to bring in some much needed fire energy, passion, desire to accomplish. I'm getting ideas, burdens, goals. So we might need to do a little bit of reworking of an inner narrative that something we're taking on doesn't feel like a burden. And if it does, to ask the healthy questions, move into that. 27th of December, Chiron, that's the other good news. Chiron stations direct in Aries Chiron stations before going direct on the 28th. Of December. So Chiron's been retrograde in Aries forever. It's going to station direct at 15 degrees. Yeah, okay. So big picture, what I'm picking up on is the continuing theme of the reworking of relationships. So remember, we're at moon number 2, Capricorn, at 1 degrees. So we have the Sag new moon at 1 degrees, Cap now at 1 degree, 1 degree 32. And then that will move into Aqua, Pisces, and the Aries. 5 new moons all at 1 degree. Beginnings, beginnings, beginnings of pace. Pace, get used to the energies. These are all rebirth energies. So this Capricorn moon is giving me the energy of making change. And with Venus, Mercury, and Pluto hitting Capricorn in the next week or so, there's like this dare to be different with love. And sometimes love stings because love is truth. And there's guidance there to follow the facts and not get lost in the emotions. Remember, we're talking about the Christmas dinner table here. And what came through was, where is there space around the table for the divine masculine and feminine to have a new kind of conversation? And the continuing theme that I got with the Sag new moon was bring me a higher love. So it's elevating the conversation and the consciousness. Capricorn is cardinal. It leads. So cardinal Earth calls for leadership, self-leadership. How am I communicating with others? Am I communicating from my wounding? Am I daring to elevate my own conversation, which might put ripples on the pond that's normally quite still, because everybody's speaking into an old narrative and keeping things safe. Remember, Pluto in Capricorn wants to challenge, wants to bring the underworld out, and Venus is there to support, and Mercury is getting ready to slow things down by going retrograde. So everything is really supporting a new kind of conversation. And I'm in this energy, you know, I escape nothing in these readings. I'm in these energies. Yeah, and having to, well, in this creative project, having to share much more of my hidden self. And it's, I think I said it in the last reading, it's pulling me so far out of my closet that I'm just kind of triggering little wobbles and being with those and bringing love to those and holding them. What is my belief in this? Am I over helping, recreating the past, making excuses? How would I describe and identify with my inner wounded healer? Chiron in Aries, first house. So it's going to be moving retrograde to direct. Okay, and when we hit the Aqua new moon, I'm already picking up that's going to ask a question of, and after that, after the Sag bring me a higher love and the Capricorn put your words into practice, Aqua's going to invite us to find our new place in the group. So truth is a powerful attractor, amplifier, and it pulls the same back to us. So that's the notes. I'm going to start with 3 cards from the sentence deck, and these are really interesting. The first one speaks to projection. And what happens when I say that back to myself? You're such a dick. I'm such a dick. And the body will tell you the truth. So if there is a moment where part of you wants to revert to name calling, judging, that might be coming from an inner wound. Because when we elevate the conversation, we move to the facts and the radical acceptance of something that might have been too ugly to look at before. Where do I tend to lose my power? So there's going to be some emotional stuff coming through. But that 28-10-1 is inviting it to add a measure of sensitivity into that sometimes recalcitrant, repeating karmic 8, is to bring the sensitivity of what is this, to rebirth into that 10. Bring light into it. It's all elevation, energy. And speaking straight into that, how would I describe my personal power now? And what that will give you is disentanglement. So in that moment, and it will happen like that, where you can feel, because another of the big patterns I'm spotting is people are gaining enlightenment and realization that, my God, I got sucked into that. I got sucked into something I previously believed I belonged in and was responsible to fix, solve, mend. So it's a dissolving of that. It's a coming more into, it's the process of individuation, personal power. And so there might be a moment around the Christmas table where you quickly examine that. Where's my personal power right now? Right. And I started with the archetypes. I followed rather with the archetype deck. So I want to keep this quite grounded in the feet of Capricorn, but with the sensitivity, because Cappies are really sensitive. You know, we make lots of assumptions about Capricorn. But I find Capricorns to be very sensitive, actually quite watery. And so the first archetype is the visionary, and what this will do, it will give you the uplift, the updraft, to uplift the conversation. See a bigger picture. Look at the facts. Is this mine? If it isn't, what is pulling me into it? And that might take you into some moral injury, shame, guilt, that kind of thing. How would I describe my personal power right now? Where do I tend to lose power? And again, this is speaking to the same theme of where do I feed others and not feed this? It's the same projection. I won't hurt that, so I will hurt this. Okay, vampire. And notice I'm not reading too deeply into any of these cards. Because I want to lift it up. There's nothing new coming out on the table. There's going to be this guided 5 new moons creating that updraft for 2023, because spring equinox 2023, there's some big movement. Where do I advocate for myself? Where do I speak up for myself? Where do I stand up for myself? Where do I say no? And where is no a complete sentence? And can I feel the return of power in that? Dare I feel and own my power in that when I've just potentially turned that against me or potentially triggered that? Judgment. Everything is set up to make the move away from the old self. And again, big picture, we're moving from karma to dharma, where we light our own path using our own visionary truth, no longer feeding others and getting nothing in return. It's beautiful, it's powerful, but it feels very grounded, very, very grounded. To the Capricorn new moon, please. Absolutely. Oh, beautiful. So we have soulmates, and we have, to be fair, and this is talking about the journey to soul. What does the soul want? What feeds the soul in this situation? What is the key to my contentment? And we're talking about a really deep contentment, not material Capricornian standard archetypes. What is the key? What gives me uplift? Am I being fair to myself in this? Yes. You might not be able to see it, but I'm reading this as a fortune cookie. And I'm reading this as an egg. And here we have a higher wisdom. And what this is saying to me is, are you going to defer to someone else's wisdoms? Fortune cookies are full of someone else's sentences and words and wisdoms. And we can blindly get attached. It might even be a past conversation. Might even be a hidden message in a sweet container. But the egg is, what am I ready to birth using my higher wisdom? Speak to that card, please. Beautiful, thank you. And bringing that higher wisdom into the belly, look, and speaking from the belly. This is passion, creativity. Aries. Yeah, completely. There's a real leap and trust. Wow, look at this. He's literally leaving his past self behind. Just letting go of what has anchored him. Letting go and leaping. Yeah. And I love that chaos and conflict is coming in on that high vibe in 33, because this is speaking about cosmic chaos. This is speaking about the divine creation principle. We create through chaos. We create through falling over. We create through breaking things and making things. It's a creation destructive process. This is deeply feminine energy. Oh, it's okay to feed yourself. It's okay to feed yourself. And what this is speaking straight to the chaos and conflict, because this is about receiving the blessings. Look at those master numbers, 22 and 33. It's about receiving the blessings of making brave choices, brave, bold choices. Everything here is supporting. Nothing here is saying, whoa, be careful. Mercury retrograde is going to slow everything down, so really take your time. Tune into the intuition. If there are words to be spoken, speak them. And if there aren't, feed yourself. Turns it. Right. I really want to go to the forest fae because they're calling. Yeah. Oh. Keep courage. Be gentle. Bluebird of happiness. And she's looking back here, and that might really be guiding, because again, this is speaking to the milk and honey card about feeding yourself, receiving. And that might be as simple as, when I look back, I feel some kind of way in all of this Plutonian upsurging energy. So there is a be gentle until you have time to process, be gentle with the field. Okay, so that, gentle with the fear. Oh. The raven shows the way. That's speaking to pulling from intuition rather than karmic narrative. Be courageous. So we have two courageous cards. Change and chance can bring exciting wonders. New moon. Ride the raven. And that's it. That is it. I'm going to draw an abundance card and wrap this up for today. How are you guys? How was your weekend? Okay, speak to the cat moon, please. You ready? Surrender. Fear, pride, ego, vanity, karma. 2, outrageous openness. That might be the name of the video, Surrender to Outrageous Openness. And the outrageous openness, watch where your mind goes. Watch where your mind goes. But the mind cards are, what happens when I say that back to myself? Where do I tend to lose my power? And how would I describe my personal power right now? And that is it, my darlings. I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to welcome new subscribers. It's lovely to have you here. I'm going to leave you with my love for now. And I will be back again soon. Take care.